Are you a tank with a little bit of a drinking problem? Well, please do not think that I judge, because I have a little bit of that problem too. And of course, I am referring to occasionally playing a Brewmaster Monk. It is awesome. It's an awesome little spec and class, and it is underrated, including by yours truly, because if you've been following me for a while, you would know that I have been, well, not rating Brewmaster Monks very, very highly, and mainly for one reason and one reason only. This is definitely a tanking class that is probably the hardest to wrap your head around if you are a newbie of World of Warcraft, if you are a relatively fresh, relatively new tank. There are simply easier tanks to play. However, being an easier tank to play, something like a Holy Paladin, it does not make it ultimately more fun and ultimately better. What Brewmasters do is that they stagger the damage. So basically the damage that they receive is not mitigated straight up like warriors would do. Warriors just refuse to get hurt, for the lack of a better word. They simply mitigate the damage on the entry. They block the entry of that damage. Paladins, let's say, paladins heal it out, the damage. They mitigate some and they heal out a massive amount. Druids just simply are very, very fat. They get hurt, but they also heal it out, shake it off, whatever it is the druids do, including dodging that damage. What Brewmasters do as opposed to other tanks, this is not a full tank classes review, is that Brewmasters, they dodge as much as possible, of course. They're a very agility-based class, but they also kinda delay the damage. So staggering the damage means delaying the damage. So a certain portion of the damage gets done to you as it would be done anyway, and your stats, variety of stats, they are reducing that portion of the damage that gets done to you straight away, and they increasing the amount of damage that gets done to you over time, aka staggered. Brewmasters really can be quite overwhelming. But in essence, if you understand that it's all revolving around tracking your stagger, you need to see where your stagger is at, and then drinking your brews to reduce the amount of stagger on you, so that your healer is able to top you up without too much effort. You are kind of looking right now at my very basic standard UI based layout. I like seeing all my main abilities on the bar number 1, action bar number 1 here in the very center, and I will take you through my talents in a minute. And my supplementary talents, my supplementary abilities are on my left and on the right. That's just as simple as it is. I usually try to have the frames, my frame and the target frame sort of at my line of sight kind of line, so that it works like a heads-up display for me. I like it being like a heads-up display. And I will obviously give you the link to this UI to import for yourself if you would like to use my UI completely. A certain major part of this life of a Brewmaster Monk tank is missing. It's not addressed properly in the standard UI, and it is a proper tracking of your stagger. Yes, the standard UI gives you a little icon there that changes its color kind of as a debuff on you, but at the same time, who can see it in the heat of the battle? Nobody can. You need something a lot more prominent, a lot more preferably colorful and informative, right front and center of yourself. How do we deal with that? Well, we use the good old WeakAuras add-on, and we import a custom aura. There are lots of different, some very pretty over-the-top kind of stagger trackers out there that you can look up on Google for it. But I will also give you a link to this one that I didn't make. I also imported it, but I'm not so sure that I'll be able to find it for you right now as the source link. So credit goes to whoever created this wonderful aura. Thank you very much, my friend, on behalf of the whole community. And you can import this aura, and then the stagger tracker is right in front of you. So everything else that I'm going to tell you about the very basic way I play it is related to the fact that you need to have that stagger bar in front of your eyes, my friends, and it's as simple as that. Once the stagger becomes uncomfortably glowy, uncomfortably from transitions from yellow into red, about to transition into red, well, spoiler alert, that is when you are drinking your purifying brew. Purifying brew is our front and center ability. That is how you remove your damage. Not all of it. It clears 50% of your damage delayed with stagger. And also secondary thing that is a talent that I will show to you where I took it is Celestial Brew. It's available fairly often, every 30 seconds or so, and you know it creates a guarding shield that absorbs quite a lot of damage, and while that shield holds, purifying your stagger damage is increasing that absorption by up to 200%, so even more so. We also have another passive ability which is called Shuffle. So Stagger and Shuffle go hand in hand as well. So this is allowing you to shuffle, so to speak, during the combat, increasing the effectiveness of your stagger. So that shuffle is effect that procs when you do a certain attack. It actually is very easy to play a Brewmaster Monk in its rudimentary form. Track your stagger, do the damaging abilities, perform the damaging attacks that grant you shuffle, and understand the concept that you need to keep that stagger as low as possible so that your healer can very, very easily top that damage up. That's about it, my friends. Alright, so like I said, Keg Smash is one of the key abilities and the coolest, arguably, ability of a Brewmaster. You smash a keg, and we are, spoiler alert, going to make sure that it has 2 charges on it. Next thing that I already said to you, Purifying Brew. Clears 50% of your stagger. This is your bread and butter. This is what you need to understand. That is front and center, something that you rely on to remove that damage, other than maintaining your, like, continuing to attack the enemy so that you have shuffle going on. A rushing Jade Wind is actually a very nice whirling tornado kind of like thing that you can run. You can proc it because it's an instant proc, and for the next 8 seconds you're surrounded by this little tornado. Yes, it's fun, yes, it's extra damage, yes, it's extra threat, that's fantastic, but I choose not to take this. But I'm just pointing out to you that you might choose to take this. Same as with the Rising Sun Kick. No, I didn't take it, because I don't want 2 extra buttons in this build. Very, very simple. At the end of the day, this whole build culminates in the Storm Stout's last keg, where I'm increasing the damage of Keg Smash by another 20%, which is a lot, and it gets an additional 1 charge, because it's always good to have 2. It's so good to have 2. I already pointed out to you that I also took Celestial Brew, because it's a nice extra shield on you, really makes a difference to have it, and it increases the damage of absorption by 200%. That's very, very helpful as well. It perhaps is slightly unusual, first of all, because I didn't take Paralysis. I didn't take Rising Sun Kick because I have enough damage, and I do enough damage, I believe. In group environment, this is not a solo build. It's not a solo build. Let's not pretend that it is. And I am going all the way to summon Black Ox Statue, unsurprisingly. Black Ox Statue is a tactical situational thing that I use probably a lot more often than I need to. You can also cast your Taunt, your Provoke on the statue, which admittedly I'm not using very often. Import this build, take a proper look at it. Let me know in the comments down below what you would have done differently. Just don't be a troll and understand that we all are learning. So if something can be optimized further here, while keeping the build as simple as I made it, because I did make some omissions evidently here, as I said already multiple times, in order to keep it as simple as possible and not take extra buttons where I can here and there. But yeah, you will take a closer look at the build, and hopefully it will work for you as well as it works for me. Final thoughts. What do I think about the Brewmaster Monk? Look, you know what? As a person who plays World of Warcraft casually, but pretty much all the time, that's how I relax over the years, right? I find Brewmaster Monk really enjoyable because it's one of those unexpected enjoyment moments. My comfort zone is Holy Paladin. My comfort zone is Protection Paladin. My new kind of comfort zone, and that I enjoy a lot, is Protection Warrior, as far as classes are concerned. But then Brewmaster Monk is this kind of thing on the side that you sometimes jump into and you're like, wow, that just feels so different. It's refreshing, and I think in order to prevent burnout from doing same old in the game, I think playing something like a Brewmaster Monk from time to time does spice it up for me personally. That's what I like. I really like about Brewmaster Monk. Also, just as a fresh insight from a good friend of mine who was healing me quite a lot lately, and he's a very good healer, and we tried different classes with him. So his opinion was that other than my protection warrior, it was actually very, very, very easy to heal this class. So, and as you can see, I play in the most rudimentary form. I track my stagger, I purify the stagger, I spin to win, I blackout kick, obviously, and I keg smash. That's basically what I do. That's basically all I do. And with that, it's a rather easy class to play, as long as you are, yeah, you are on a slightly higher end of the active buttons. As long as you are not offended by that too much, as long as you can handle that, you will have no problems whatsoever, my fellow tank with a drinking problem. I hope this was helpful. I was hoping that this video would be a lot shorter, but then you start talking about certain things and you feel like you would not be doing it justice if you don't kind of cover everything. Please give the video a like while you're at it and subscribe for more similar guides from me. Always talk to me in the comments down below. I always reply to everyone who is not a troll and who is respectful to me and the rest of our audience. Thank you very much once again, and I'll be speaking with you again about something else, World of Warcraft related, no doubt, very soon. Bye for now.
Press start.